So, yeah, there you go. I'm crazy. Just live with it, okay? Yeah, I'll buy some Titanite shards. Spend souls that I don't need to spend to reinforce weapons, because I'm silly. Silly guys. I need 3 Titanite shards. Hey, finally, I'm talking about the game I'm playing. It's about time, right? Alright, so that's all I'll do for now, because that's really all I can do. I'll remember. I might just make a quick cut here, because, like I said, I've said a whole lot of information about, like, the gaming and whatnot. Actually, no. We'll jump right here. Because I'm sure I'm not just going to post this as one whole video, and there's no point even really saying that now, considering the fact that clearly by the time this part comes out, there's probably going to be like 4, 5, 6 other parts, because I've been rambling forever now. Excuse me. So, wait, does increasing endurance also increase my equipment load? I can't remember. I think so. Okay. So, actually, maybe I should go down here. I don't know what I want to do. I'm just a confused little pony. I'm just running back and forth looking for some carrots and some salt licks and some sugar. Makes no sense. Yep, I've become that guy. Everyone's always subscribed to that one guy on YouTube who just rambles and says random things. That is officially me. I wonder if I could take out this Titanite demon. Probably not. In hindsight, thinking about this, probably... Shit! Titties! Okay, yep. Okay. So, about my gaming library. And I actually had a friend of mine say, I should have used my Firekeeper soul. That's what I meant to do earlier when I was at Firelink Shrine. I had a buddy. I have this buddy who said to me the other day, he said that I had an extremely large gaming variety. Like, my game library, like, he basically said the same thing I just said earlier, that the variety of my games, it's astounding how many different games I'm into. You know, there's some people who exclude themselves from certain game series, but for me, it's like, I'm willing to try that. That seems like it might be fun. So, for example, like I said, with my gaming patterns as of late, the top games I have been playing are probably Animal Crossing, Diablo 3, Dead Space 3, anything else? I'm looking around my room as if I've got games lying around. I can't really think of anything else at the moment. Let's just stick with those, shall we? And, shit! Well, there's my first death of the game. Jeez. Did that guy live? No, he's dead too. So, wow, okay. That was silly. I could have avoided that. Now, so my gaming library is relatively big. Like, I'm not afraid to try new things. I mean, obviously, when it comes to certain games, I might be a little less inclined to play them. Like, hypothetically, a movie based off of an animated film, and the reason why I say this is like games like The Incredibles and or like, I don't know, let's say Finding Nemo. Like, if they came out with like video games that were based off of like Disney and Pixar movies or something like that, like, those don't really draw my attention. Mostly probably due to the fact that I don't like movies I don't like watching movies too often. I mean, when movies are on, or if I'm with people, I'll watch a movie. That's fine. But to capitalize on this, to give some perspective, just a few months ago, as of the day that this video came out, so this just so you know, this video was not in limbo for like months at a time. No, when just a few months ago, I watched Star Wars, the original trilogy, for the first time in my entire life. How? I don't know. Even my father said how. I said, Dad, I've never seen Star Wars. And he's like, how have you never seen Star Wars? And I'm like, I don't know, Dad, why don't you tell me? So, yeah, like, that's how little I watch movies. And there are reasons for why I don't watch movies, but they're not really worth getting into. But other than that, those are pretty much the only games I'm not really inclined to just jump right ahead and play. But I'm also not afraid to give certain titles a try, like upon seeing them. Like in fact, the game Alan Wake that was like that came out, God, how long ago was that? 4 or 5 years ago or so? I don't remember. It's been so long. When I first saw that game, I quite literally saw it, like the information on the game, a day before the game came out, and I was just like, you know what? I want to try that. That looks very interesting. So what I ended up doing is I went to GameStop, pre-ordered it, came back to my house, went back the following morning, and basically went out to go pick up my game, because it was just, I was so excited because this game had looked so interesting. I didn't bother looking up any of the reviews on what anybody had said. Sure, it was a very risky decision to do what I had done, but at the same time, you know, that's just a great way of me explaining and showing how willing I am to try out a new title. Same with the game Catherine that came out probably about 3 to 4 years ago or so. You know, a lot of people were just like, why the hell would you be so eager to pick this game up? And it was a similar situation. I had found out about the game probably about 2 weeks before the game itself was to come out, and I pre-ordered it. Unfortunately, because I really wanted the special edition that came with the like Vincent's boxers, a pillowcase that had the blonde Catherine on it. Yeah, there's some really weird stuff. And I missed out on being able to buy that, and I was quite disappointed. Fun fact, less than probably 4 or 5 months ago, I actually saw that special edition in a GameStop, and I bought it. In fact, let me where is it? Yep, right there. Yep, I'm looking at it. There we go. It's right over there on top of my dresser. It's not opened. Let me explain that real quick. I do not have one of my pillows wrapped up in a Catherine pillowcase, just to let you guys know. I promise. It's completely unopened. The plastic is still on it and everything. But you know, it's just, you know, I'm into that thing. That's another thing too. Like some people, let's say sports, because for some reason that's the only thing I can seem to bring anything back to. People with their sports, and they'll collect jerseys of their favorite team and or get bumper stickers and put them on their cars. Me, I have a statue of Alduin sitting on top of my mini fridge, and I have a bobblehead of Marcus sitting next to me. Marcus from Borderlands 2, that is. You know, I collect gaming memorabilia stuff every so often because, you know, why not? You know, I'm into it. It's my thing. But yeah, so my gaming library is relatively large. Of games I'd play. Like I said, Animal Crossing. And a friend of mine, she said to me the other day, she goes, isn't that like a kid's game? And I'm like, well, it could probably be viewed that way. I believe the exact thing I said to her was, it's probably more so tailored for kids, but it doesn't necessarily make it a kid's game. Like, when I think of kids games, this guy's gonna kill me. Oh, shit! Whew, there was a little bit of panic in my system there, guys. Woo! I'm awake now. Basically, like, sure, it's like it has this very cutesy sort of thing, and I can't really explain it to people, like, if you don't really know Japanese culture, but it's a Japanese game, you know? Like, in Japan, like, the way that they have designed their games and sort of things is that there is no really, like, age restriction, you know, with certain games. Yeah. Like, basically, like, I mean, look, Nintendo, like, because Animal Crossing is a Nintendo title. It's a Nintendo title just the same as Mario is a Nintendo title. I mean, look at Mario. The game has never really taken a mature tone, ever, as far as I'm aware. And that's perfectly acceptable. I think everybody's perfectly fine with that. Like, if suddenly Mario became this, like, really mature game, like, I don't know if it would garner the amount or level of appeal that it has. And, I mean, sure, there's nothing really wrong with the way that it's designed, but I mean, if you think about it, like, I guess you could say Mario is a kid's game too, though I can understand when somebody says, isn't Animal Crossing a kid's game? Because that, I mean, come on, I'm not an idiot. I could certainly tell when something is tailored for a certain audience, just the same as Pokemon. By looking at it from an outside source, anybody would say, isn't that tailored for kids? And I say, yeah, probably. I mean, like I said, I'm not stupid. I'm not like in denial about certain things. Alright, let's get... Oh, shit. He hit me! Chi! Ha! Alright, so I need to focus a little bit. Come on. There we go. So Animal Crossing, like I said, Diablo, that's a mature rated game. Grand Theft Auto, it's a very mature game. I don't think this is any better than what I'm wearing. In fact, I think that's the exact thing that I'm wearing. Let's see. One of my favorite games of all time is a game called Dark Cloud 2. It's probably not a title many people are familiar with, and if they're not familiar with Dark Cloud 2, they might be familiar with Dark Chronicle, which is what it was called everywhere but America. Let's get out of here. And basically, you persistent little bugger. That's one of my favorite games of all time. It's an RPG of a sort. Where dungeons are randomly generated and that sort of thing, and it's pretty much the same gameplay over and over and over again, which not a lot of people are really into, and I get. But I was initially going to retreat, but since y'all decided to single yourselves out like that, that works out perfectly fine. Now I just gotta find this guy with this stone shield. Ow. Oh, sorry, my throat got really scratchy there. But yeah, I mean, I'm not really big into sports games, but I do enjoy playing them. Despite the fact that this one particular time, a friend of mine decided to go out and buy a really cheap Madden game that he had, and we went to play the game together, and he was a complete jerk off. I'm looking at you. I won't say your name, but I will probably tag you in this at some point, and you will remember. There was no reason for you to go for a field goal attempt when you were already beating me by like 50 points. All right? Yeah, you know who you are. You know who you are, buddy. So, yeah. So I mean, I actually have a lot of fun playing FIFA. And even some of the hockey games, I don't remember, NHL? Yeah, NHL, that's what they're called. I have fun with those games as well, despite the fact that I'm not really into sports. Like, I don't like watching sports. The only sport that I could ever find myself really watching is probably soccer. And that's because it just blows my mind that people can be running, sprinting all the damn time. And still going. It's like, Jesus, did you take a break, man? Like to me, it's like it's an impressive feat. But I mean, like I said, I'm not into sports. I'm not really big into sports whatsoever. So, again, I'm not afraid to try new games. When L.A. Noire first came out, L.A. Noire, not Noir, I'm sorry, L.A. Noire. When that game first came out, I was very much like into the idea of a game where you play a detective. I don't watch like detective films or. Ooh, I don't like watch anything like that. Like, like some people are like, detectives are so cool, and me, I'm just like, that game where you're researching crimes is cool. like this is just me in my life in a nutshell. Like, just that game sounds cool. I'm not really into the real life counterpart of it, but yeah, let's see a little bit more of that. I was very willing to, I went out and bought that game if I were... Yeah, that's right. When L.A. Noire first came out, I went out and I bought that game. The day it came out. I'm going to be listing these games that I want to say, took a gamble on because I was so intrigued by the fact that somebody was breaking from the mold that, And like games like, I don't like this guy. Why can't I lock onto you? I'm trying to think of some of the games. Like Red Dead Redemption. I hadn't played Red Dead Revolver, but I played the game Gun. And, I like the whole cowboy thing, like in a game. Like, it was really interesting. But for me, it becomes a little difficult for me to play a game, and despite the fact that it was made by Rockstar, the guys who made Grand Theft Auto, I never really felt like I was taking a gamble playing a game that was made by Rockstar that was basically Grand Theft Auto except westernized. You know, there was never any fear in my mind that I, you know, wouldn't enjoy the game. I just knew from the get-go, I was like, yeah, this game's going to be fun, I'm going to like it. And, but for the most part, like this game, I didn't play Demon's Souls. And at first, I didn't like this game because I just, you know, I tried playing it with a keyboard. What a terrifying and horrible. Just let's not talk about it. It's bringing back very, very bad memories. But then once I finally cracked down and bought a controller for like probably about $15 at GameStop, I don't remember. Once I finally did that and decided to give this game the proper chance it deserved, I found myself really enjoying this game, and I've clocked a lot of hours on this game. I can't remember. Yeah, I'm lying. I have about 220 hours probably right now clocked on this game as we speak, because it was about 2:16 a little bit earlier, and I don't even know how long I've been doing this. Probably not 4 hours, definitely not. So, but it's probably closing in on the 220 mark. And that was done in a relatively short amount of time. Like I played this game for pretty much a month straight, and because it's such a great game, it's so fun. I mean, sheesh. But see if I can avoid these giants. Basically, what I'm getting at though is like this game, it's different. It's different from, say, Catherine. It's different from, say, Madden, which like I said, I enjoyed. It's different from a lot of the games I played. In fact, most of the games I play are. Oh, I said I wanted to summon you. Most of the games I play, like I said, are JRPGs, which, if I'm not mistaken, this is a Japanese game, and yeah, it's an RPG, but it's not in the traditional sense, like, say, Final Fantasy, since, you know, that was my childhood game. Please don't fight him. Okay. Unless you can kick his ass. Alright, you took a little bit of damage. You should still be fine. Let's go. Excuse me again. But I mean, this game is in a very different style. It handles entirely differently than your standardized JRPG. In fact, even modern days RPGs like Mass Effect and Fallout. Like at first, I could not get into Fallout. I tried and I tried and I just could not get into that game. And then one day, I just tried again, and it was amazing. I mean, Mass Effect, I've tried many times to get into that game, and the only time I can really find myself really enjoying the game is when I am playing the Mass Effect 3 multiplayer with a buddy of mine. And it's not that it's a bad game, and a lot of people they get turned off by the whole, you know, like there's a lot of talking, there's a lot of you know, exploring that needs to go down. That doesn't bother me even in the slightest. It's just for some reason it just wasn't clicking with me. And it sucks because I really want to enjoy the game. I really do. But it's just difficult. Okay, let's get out of here. You know what? I don't really need to heal up, but I'd rather play it safe, because Beatrice will be able to kill her here in a second. But, oh, schnibbity snap. I don't think I've ever seen that attack before. There we go. Good job, Beatrice. Thank you. But yeah, is she still following me? Oh, there we go. I was like, what? What is happening here?